Alright, so a lot of people have been asking me, is Seel really good? For Little Cup. Enter the little adorable season... well, not really season 1, but Generation 1 pretty much like... I don't know how you're gonna get this thing for Great League unless you've been playing for a while. That's just the honest to God truth. Because Seel hasn't been... I haven't seen a Seel in a very long time. Anyway, Seel is a very powerful mon for the Little Cup just because of its stat product. It sports, if you've seen Dugong, it's very bulky and tanky. That's no different in the Little Cup. In the Little Cup, it has very high defense and stamina and still really good attack. It maxes out at 971, so it's going to max out near 500. Now, the thing about Seel and why it's really good, there's not a lot of things that check it. It's only weak to electric and grass types, so anything that does you won't see a lot of fast moves that actually do a ton of damage to Seel. Yeah, you won't, like, they won't do super effective damage to be more consistent, unless they're using a Razor Leaf. If you do, run, because it hurts a lot. And they also, but it does resist a slew of types. For example, it resists fire, ice, steel, and water. So it has a horde of resistances against a lot of good meta. For example, those Vulpixes, Ice Shards, Icy Winds, those Heavy Slams from Bronzors, or like fellow water types like Chinchou, etc. Now, it sports, the reason why it's really good is because it sports a very interesting moveset. It has Lick, Aqua Tail, Ice Shard, Aqua Tail. So, Ice Shard makes it really good because you generate energy quickly. I've been hearing a lot about Lick Seel, and I don't know if that's really good, but like, I can see how it can be good because Lick is super effective against Bronzors. So you have some utility here. And the problem with Seel is that it's not readily available. It's 50k dust for the second move, and you don't see, like I said, you don't see a lot of Seals nowadays. I don't know when the last time Seel even had an event where it's been out for a while. Anyway, Seel maxed out at around level 19 or level 20, so Seel is actually really, it's not too expensive, to be honest. Well, it's kind of expensive, because if you see here, that's not, yeah, it takes quite a bit of dust to power up, because you can't get it from hatch. So the thing about hatching a Seel is that you can't hatch a Seel that's going to be eligible for Little Cup because the minimum is 510. So you have to you can get it from research, but you have to do it either research or the wild, and even then you have to power it up to about like level 18. So it just really depends how you get it, but it's like, I wouldn't say worry about it being expensive, just availability. You can't just walk outside of the street, say hi to your neighbor, and then you look at your phone and you're going to see a Seel. Alright, so here's the Little Cup rankings. At number 11, we have Seel. Now, the reason why Seel is ranked high is because it has Ice Shard. Ice Shard generates energy quickly. It allows you to spam Aqua Tail and Icy Wind, which is why it makes it not a very good charger. And Ice Shard allows you to take on Deinos. It also allows you to, like Deinos and Cottonies. And it puts an insane amount of pressure on your opponent. It even beats Darumaka and Vulpix, even though it has Ice Shard, because Aqua Tail threatens. And it's it's really strong. It's very spammy. It doesn't have any like hard weaknesses, like I mentioned before on the Go Hub analysis. There's nothing that does super effective damage to Seel in this meta. It's gonna be super popular unless it's a Razor Leaf, like I said. And because Bronzos are gonna be flying everywhere, I doubt you will see something that has Razor Leaf in this meta. You do lose against Seel. Why not Shelmet, Cottony, and you don't lose too hard against Shelmet and Why Not, which is good. However, you do lose hard against Odd Things. That's a bad rating. If you see a Bronzor, you're dead. Yeah, that's basically... A 758 is so strong that literally there's like nothing you can do. Bronzor will destroy you. As you see, you lose against all shield scenarios against Bronzor, which is really bad. But Seel, as you see, rates best as a charger. So your best is either a lead or a switch. In the lead, Seel ranks at we get number 7, so it's a number 7 lead, it's really good as a lead, taking out Cottony and Deino. beat Stunky. It also, but like I said, just watch out for Bronzor, because Bronzor, like, you don't want to get locked into a Bronzor. As a closer, Seel is less than ideal. As you see here, it's not very dominant. I actually have to look for it. It's number 92. Don't use it as a closer. As a switch, Seel ranks at number 13. So it's not bad to switch in a Seel into whatever's in front of you, because what happens is that you're able to debuff it with Icy Wind. So you can kind of like manipulate the match with Ice Shard, Icy Wind, Aqua Tail, if you're able to do it expertly. However, your only wins are against really odd things, like your key wins are Deino, Drifloon, and you still like get destroyed by Bronzor, so just be careful. But other than that, it's strongest as a charger, sporting at number 19. As you see, it still beats a lot of great things, but just be careful because you do lose against some things. Alright, so I put the entire Little Cup meta. This is the most interesting part, is the Matrix. The Matrix tells us what beats what in what scenarios, and what is really good against our Seel. As you see, I put the whole shebang with Seel. Here's the Little Cup meta right here. And this is the top 20, like 27? Yeah, top 27. I put all 3 Seals, as you see here. We have Ice Shard, we have Lick, we have Water Gun. So if you want, if you do have Legacy Water Gun, I mean, I don't recommend you power it up because I don't think it's gonna be good, but like, we're gonna find out if it's good or not, alright? So we hit battle, and as you see, we get here. You beat Barboach, so Barboach, you beat Barboach if you have Icy Wind, if you have Water Gun. As you see here, you do get destroyed by Bronzor, which isn't really surprising. Even though Lick variation dies to Bronzor. I think the worst part about, well, you'll see here, you'll beat Cottony with all 3 versions. You also beat Krogunk with the Water Gun version. So Water Gun actually beats Krogunk. Now here's where it kind of sucks. If you, as you see here, Sealed Ice Shard beats Dratini and Deino. If you don't have that, you lose. So you will lose against Deino, and you will lose against Bronzor. So that's not good. So Lick isn't, and the 2 shields anyways isn't looking to be very hot. However, Ice Shard does beat Deino. You beat Dratini. You beat Drifloon. Well, you beat Drifloon in all 3 variations, but with the Ice Shard version, you also beat you lose with the Lick version with, and let's see, anything else that's notable? You'll beat all versions in Incada. You'll lose against Lotad just because it has Razor Leaf. And, yeah, you remember what I was talking about? Razor Leaf. Run if you see Razor Leaf. You do beat Onyx. I don't know why anyone has Onyx. You also beat Poniard with Seel. And you beat it with Lick Seel too, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. How do you... Well, Poniard isn't the thickest thing since sliced bread. It's very glass cannony, so don't worry. So I'm guessing that's why. Water Gun variation does beat it pretty handily, along with Purrloin. You also beat Riolu. You lose against Alolan Sandshrew, so Lick does flip some relevant matchups, but... Well, not relevant. It does flip some matchups, but you... Not looking too hot. So you'll beat Shelmet. You lose against Stunky. You lose against Vulpix, but you beat the Whopper. Well, you'll actually simultaneously KO the Whopper. And you do beat Wynot. With Lick, you beat Wynot. With a Lick, you'll beat Wynot. So it looks like with Lick, you beat Wynot, and that's it in 2 shield. You don't actually beat Bronzor. You just beat Wynot. Which is good. It's good that you beat Wynot. So you beat Wynot, but you lose against Bronzor and Dino. In the 1 shield, how dicey does it get? So in the 1 shield, you still lose against Bronzor. You also lose against Deino. The Ice Shard version that we're looking at, though, it picks up a lot of wins. It picks up Connie, you pick up Krogunk, you pick up Deino, Dratini, Drifloon. It doesn't look like it flips any matchups. The Lick variation does beat Seel itself as well as Alolan Sandshrew, just because Ice Shard is resisted, and ironically, Water Gun does it you'll actually just simultaneously KO each other. Unless you're facing the Lick one. The Lick one, actually, you beat the Lick one, yeah. You will beat Lick Seel. Yeah, you beat Lick Seel. You actually beat Lick Seel. You'll beat Lick Seel in all scenarios except the 0-2s, which is kind of nuts. You beat Skunky, you'll beat Vullaby just because of that. Vullaby's a flying type, so you'll beat Vullaby, you'll beat Wooper, and why not? So, not many things flip from the 2 shield scenario. It's just really, I'm pretty sure you'll still beat Why Not. Yeah, you still beat Why Not. But the most notable one is you'll still beat Why Not. In the 1 shield, Ice Shard does chunk, as you see here. You win a slew of matchups. Lick does flip matchups, however, the only matchups you really flip are Alolan Sandshrew and Seel. Yeah, you only flip Alolan Sandshrew and Seel. So, just keep that in mind. So, in the closer is where Seal's kind of bad because you need shields to operate. In the closer, you die a lot. So you'll die against Bronzor. Actually, in the closer, you pick up a lot of matchups. I lied. Whew. You actually win a decent amount of matchups in a closer. You'll lose against Parleon, I wouldn't worry about Pawniard that much, so Parleon, with Parleon, because I don't see a lot of people having Pawniard or Parleon. Lotad and Razor Leaf, be careful of Razor Leaf, please. You do beat Seel, which is probably Lick Seel actually beats a slew of, like, the meta. Like, not relevant meta, but it beats some of the meta, and you'll beat Vulpix, Swooper, and why not? Now, is Darmanitan here? No, Darmanitan isn't on here. Okay, so it looks like it's okay. So you don't really... It's not that bad. So it's... Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. So I keep saying not that bad. You'll beat Cottonee, which is really good. So you'll beat Cottonee and Deino, and you'll also beat Why Not, which is really good. Unfortunately, Bronzor still wrecks your soul. So it looks like Seal's very wonky to use, but Lick Seel is really weird. Yeah, and the problem with Lick Seel is you don't pick up the Deino matchup or the Dratini matchup. So if they have one, you're actually losing that match if you don't have it. Now, if you're up a shield, of course, anything up a shield is going to be a massive, but even up a shield, you don't take on Bronzor. And you beat everything but Bronzor, Lotad, Oddish. Wait, so you're going to die to all the Razor Leafers. You will die to Ducklet. Wait, yeah, you lose against Ducklet. Well, Ducklet does resist you, so that makes sense. You lose against Bronzor, but you beat everything else in the meta. You'll beat even Deino and Dratini because you'll just R-Shard them to death. In the 2-0s, you beat everything but Bronzor and the Shadow Razor Leafers. So, not Shadow Razor, or just Razor Leafers in general. So, you'll beat everything but the Razor Leafers and, unfortunately, Bronzor. Now, in the 2-1s, are things going to get interesting if you're up shield advantage? As you see with shield advantage, you still die to Bronzor. Why is this thing so powerful? You do beat the rest of the meta, though, so up shield advantage, you do beat a majority of the meta. You just have to watch out for the Shadow Razor Leafers, Ducklet, and Bronzor. Yeah. Other than that, you beat the rest. You beat the rest of the meta. So the Seal's best positions are in the lead or the switch. It does have a great It's great as a charger. It's very powerful, but as you see here, Bronzor just absolutely destroys you in all scenarios. It's kind of interesting. Alright, so yeah, it's just really interesting how Seel operates. Alright, so is Seel good? No, seriously, is Seel good? 6 out of 10. And the reason why it's good, but Lick Seel, I give a 6 out of 10. I mean, Shard Seel, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Lick Seel, I'll give you like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give you like a 4 out of 10. So, here's the thing. Seel I only give it a 6. I honestly should rate it lower just because. But, however, Seel is decent. It's a great charger for the meta. It does beat a lot of matchups. The only issue with Seel is it's not readily available. No, seriously, it's not readily available. And the big thing about Seel as a loss is that... The thing about Seel as a loss is that you get walled by Bronzor, which is really bad. So, Seel is best used as a lead or safe switch, but if you lose the lead, they throw their Bronzor to you, you're screwed. They get their Bronzor into your Seel, you're screwed. If they light up your Bronzor with your Seel, you're screwed. See what I mean here? You don't want, and for everyone hailing Lick Seel, don't use Lick Seel. So this is what happens when you have Ice Shard. And this is the 2 shield. And it's best used in the lead and the switch. You give it Lick, watch what happens. You move from 72 to 67. That's bad. You lose a whole 5%. And you're like, yeah, you lose a whole 5% of matchups, which is not good. 5%, and the big reason why, like, it's so hailed, and the big reason why is because, like, we're looking for Deino here. You lose against Deino. You don't want to have a situation where you lose. You'll win in the closer, but you lose in the 1s and the 2s. So you pick up, you'll lose against, yeah. That's a problem. Seel's really good because it's able to beat Deito and Why Not. And it becomes a core breaker. Ice Shard allows it to gain energy and do really well because you're able to charge energy quickly, which is why Ice Shard is good. See, that's a huge difference. 5% doesn't look like a lot in the Little Cup, but in 5% of the Little Cup meta, considering how condensed it is, that's really good. Now, if we go to the 1 shield for Ice Shard, watch what happens. So here's the 1 shield Ice Shard, 75%. Watch what happens when you get Lick. Get Lick, you drop 2, 68, 7%. Once you lose a shield, your Seal's effectiveness just dies, and that's because of Lick. I don't know who promoted the whole Lick thing. Like, Lick put... Okay, so the thing is... So, this is the thing about Lick. As soon as someone mentioned Lick to me, here's why. Here's why my brain automatically just went like, that's bad. 1, you generate energy slowly. 2, you don't get stabbed. 3, if you lose... I'm pretty sure if you lose shields, I'm like, you probably have to have shields to make it work, which is right here. You don't want... In Little Cup, it's going to be very fast-paced move. Very, very fast-paced. So... fast move damage. But even then, like, if you get walled in certain scenarios, no matter what you do, especially against a Bronzor, it's bad. In other words, don't use Lick Seel. Like, just don't. Just don't. Whoever told you Lick Seel is really, really good, obviously never faced a Bronzor or got walled against a Bronzor, because that's really what Lick Seel is. Lick Seel as... Okay, so here's the closer. You see 68? Watch what happens when you give it Ice Shard. 70%. Well, I'm not really surprised, because like I said, you need shields to make Seel effective, or it just dies. So, that's another big part. The plus is Seal's a great charger. It's a great as a lead and a switch, as long as you can pivot, and it gives you the opportunity to lower and create plays with Icy Wind. Aqua Tail and Icy Wind don't cost a lot of energy, those are its pros. And so, if you play it expertly, it is really good, but there's just so many cons. Just to put it in perspective, if you put Seel against the BBML, you're gonna if you don't have Ice Shard, you're going to die to 2 of them. You'll die to Deito, and you'll die to Bronzor. That's bad. If you have Ice Shard, you'll take out the core. And you can, as long as you can pivot away from Bronzor. That's just the thing. As long as you stay away from Bronzor, you're fine. But that's just Seel. 6 out of 10. If you have one, it's not the best thing in this meta, so I wouldn't really consider using it. There are better chargers out there. There are better Pokemon to use. It's good, but it's not really good. Not even if you give it Lick. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Please like and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you guys on the next analysis. Remember, there are better things out there. You can use Seel. It's not the best thing to use, though.